Carp, Jesus went hog hunting up in North Texas, was checking on a property that I've been checking on since deer season ended, but hadn't seen any hogs yet, so I decided to camp out there for a while using my Pulsar Trail XP38 LRF laser rangefinder, getting some distances on some landmarks out in the field, including this mount, which is out here at 414 yards. Got a few deer at the base of that mount. I've got some deer way off in the distance. Now I'm also going to be testing some Wolf Military Classic Full Metal Jacket 100 grain ammo. This will be the second time out going after hogs with this ammo. Those deer are way out there at 402 yards. A little while later I spied this hog coming in. It was moving from right to left, and I took off after it. Here I've stopped to get a quick view of the hog on video. And now I'm about 100 yards into my approach across this terraced wheat field. The wind is working in my favor. It's blowing towards the hog, but not at the hog, and so I'm going to move parallel to the wind in order to make my approach on this hog that's still way out there at about 278 yards. I could probably shoot at this distance, but I don't want to attempt it. A little closer still. Farther than I would like to shoot. And here I've moved up to roughly 137 yards according to the laser rangefinder on the scope. I think I can get just a little bit closer, and I go ahead and pack up and move one more time. Now I'm close enough. I've got winds blowing from left to right at this point. Rangefinder says 130 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And while I'm shooting slightly uphill here, the hog is completely backdropped by some land, so I feel good in taking the shot. Here we go. And the hog goes right down with the one shot. Kicks a little, and that's about it. The hog turned out to be a boar that came in at 210 pounds, and this is the last frame of video before the shot broke. Looks like the shot's going to enter the top left-hand side of the head, and sure enough, it entered above and behind the left eye, exiting out below and behind the right ear. So after I checked out the hog, I'm headed back to the truck with my headlamp on, trying to negotiate some uneven ground. I turn and scan, and I see there's another hog that's coming to the field. I get a range on that hog after I turned off my headlamp. He's out there at 249 yards. I move up on him, and unfortunately the cattle come with me at this point. Now we're at about 170 yards. I need to push through these cattle, but beforehand I want to play with the focus a little bit. There are the cattle in focus, and then going back to the hog being in focus. Here I've moved up further. The hog is coming off the hillside towards me. According to GPS, he's out there at about 110 yards. Now I'm going to let him run. This is a body shot, an intentional body shot. I want to see how well the wolf ammo performs. And about the time I decide that this hog isn't stopping, I decide I need to shoot again. I think he's going left. I shoot off to the left. The shot misses, and then he turns to the left. And he keeps going. Matter of fact, he goes on for so long, we have enough time here for a word from my sponsor.
Optics provided by Third Coast Thermal.
Oh man, that's right. And the hog just keeps going. I think he's fallen down there, but he's gone behind a ridge. He's reappeared, and he continues to go. I finally lose him after 43 seconds of running. And I searched for him for over an hour and had no recovery. So what happened? I don't know. The front leg of the hog is back. I'm making a shot into the chest. It's going to be into the left front shoulder. Should be a good shot according to the gel test online, and I'll post a link to that in the description. The bullet should enter. It should yaw. There should be a huge temporary wound cavity that's going to do a lot of damage and hopefully be able to bring the hog down. That isn't what happened here. Now, I'm not taking a shot at the other guy that made the video. All I'm pointing out is that the gel test, which revealed that there should be this huge temporary wound cavity, looks really impressive in the gel test, but in reality, you may not get the same results. As noted in that other video, you shouldn't expect a temporary wound cavity to really do the kind of damage that you would get with a proper expanding hunting round. And the way that I look at it is that if the temporary wound cavity does a lot of damage, that's great, but that is not something you want to count on as being your primary mechanism for bringing down the animal. It's a bonus if it happens, but if it doesn't happen, as in this case, you're kind of out of luck. Here, the bullet itself apparently did not do any direct damage to any vital structures or organs, such that the animal would be brought down quickly. You know, not everybody makes a perfect shot every time. I think most hunters try to make the best shot they can given the circumstances, but maybe the animal moves, maybe the hunter has the shakes, I don't know. Regardless of the reason, you don't want to be relying on the inconsistent results of a temporary wound cavity to be producing the damage that you need. Carpe sus, my friends.